Keep on saying, he doesn't want to steer from, he wants to steer to get it night and day from 3 to 5. Or he wants to steer. He's a bad.
You should have that picture that I sent you on the agreement. Okay, can you send it to, because somehow it's not on my phone. If you can maybe send it, or send it.
Yeah. That's right.
Avery.
Yes.
Right after,
Today we go to.
right after, make a motion to,
Yep.
to bring that legislation forward.
Where they get the crowd.
Is it right now?
Right after the program day.
I thought.
1 minute.
I knew it might not be enough. Nope. 9 to 3. About 4 o'clock, still had 2 people. So it's full. Yeah. All right, take care.
First of all, let me say, after a long, rigorous election cycle, welcome back here to the City Council meeting for Garfield Heights, November 12th, 2024. I want to say again, welcome to our guests, welcome to the residents, and above all, I'm glad to see my colleagues again as we continue to try to be good stewards of your tax dollars. At this time, we will call for our invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we are called here to be good stewards, good stewards of the community. Today we're able to pay respect and homage to a wonderful woman, Carolyn Barnes Owens Pope. May her legacy show us how we should be as a community. I was reminded Saturday at her going home celebration that this is not a time for us to be weary or worried after this past election cycle. It's a time for us to stand in faith and understand that you are the keeper, you are the doer, and it's with you that all things are possible. So we have to stand together and stand in faith and understand that you are going to make good come no matter what. I say all this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to thank Council Pro Tem Carter for those kind words. At this time, Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call?
Ms. Collier.
Here.
Ms. Mack. Here. Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Present.
Ms. Townsend.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Ms. New Rose.
Councilwoman Townsend, will you excuse.
Mr. President, I'd like to excuse Councilwoman Narones from this meeting tonight.
The motion has been put on the floor to excuse Councilwoman LaRose. Can I please get a second?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded by Councilman Kelly. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
That motion carries. All right, this time, we're gonna ask for a reading of disposal of our minutes. Councilman Kelly?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kelly.
I make a motion disposal of our minutes for our regular council meeting, October the 28th, 2024.
The motion has been placed on the floor for the disposal of our minutes for caucus and our regular minutes for October 28th, 2024. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Thompson. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. That motion is carried. At this time, we're going to put a pause in our council meeting and move resolution 30-2024 be presented by Councilwoman Collier.
Make
Do
a
do
motion.
we need to have a motion first of
Yes, sir.
all?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we move resolution 30-2024 to the beginning of this meeting.
There's been a motion put on the floor by Councilwoman Collier to move resolution number 3024 to the beginning of the meeting. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. Motion is carried.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Collier.
I'd like to make a motion to read resolution 30-2024 in its entirety.
There's been a motion placed on the floor to read the motion 30-2024 in its entirety by Council Pro Tem Collier. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Tumbling. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. That motion is carried. Councilwoman Collier.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman.
I'd like to make a motion for the waiver of the 3 reading rule.
There's been a motion for the waiver of the 3 reading rules placed on the floor by Councilwoman Collier. Can I get a second? It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Mack. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
You lose my time, man.
What's that?
You said my time.
Mr. President, I need to make a motion to consider.
By title.
No, I am correct. It's a motion to read in its entirety. There's no need for a motion to,
I'm just saying,
I
that's correct.
am correct.
Okay, go ahead. At this time, Councilwoman
I
Collier.
need you you all to.
Can we get a motion to rescind that motion?
There wasn't a motion to rescind. What I need you to do is vote.
Oh, at that time, we already voted for the waiver, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We voted for the waiver of the 3 reading rule, which is
Yes.
fine.
So we're
Ms.
fine.
Collier can just simply read the resolution in its entirety, and at that point, the only thing we really have to do is take the roll call, because there's no point for Rule 24 either. So
Correct.
if Ms. Collier could just go ahead and read the resolution at this time, I think we're good to go at that point. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Resolution 30-2024, sponsored by Councilwoman Stacey Collier, co-sponsored by council as a whole. A resolution remembering Carolyn Barnes Owens Pope and celebrating her lifelong contributions to the city of Garfield Heights. Whereas Carolyn Barnes Owens Pope was born on May 9th, 1946 in Cleveland, Ohio, to Rose and Willie Douglas Barnes. And whereas Carolyn was a student of the Cleveland Municipal School District, where she would receive her high school diploma. And whereas throughout her life, Carolyn worked diligently in service to her community. She was the founder of the Busy Bee Girls, a life skills and development group of young girls in the community. as well as the president of the Roosevelt Elementary PTA. And whereas Carolyn also served her community in her professional life, becoming the first Black housing inspector for the city of Garfield Heights, as well as a jailer for the Garfield Heights Police Department for more than 30 years. And whereas Carolyn was best known for her deep love she had for her family, she served as president of the BFN, the Blackwell Formanberry Nichols Family Club, Ohio chapter until 2018. And whereas Carolyn is preceded in death by her parents, Rose and Willie Barnes, and her sons, Reginald Lee Owens, Roy Lee Owens Jr., and Roy Anthony Owens. And whereas Carolyn Pope is survived by her sister, Paulette Darcell, her companion of more than 20 years, Ernest Watt, her 5 children, Mark Owens, Dana Lee Owens, Brian Keith Owens, Dwayne Pope, and Kelly Pope, 12 grandchildren, 14 great-grandchildren, and many deeply loved extended family members and friends. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Garfield Heights, Ohio, that Section 1, the mayor and the council, on behalf of the residents of the City of Garfield Heights, hereby remember and honor Carolyn Pope for her lifelong contributions to the City of Garfield Heights. Section 2, the clerk of council is hereby authorized and directed to transmit a copy of this resolution to the family of Carolyn Pope and to the local news media. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after the earliest period allowed by law. Thank you.
I'll call for the roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilwoman Collier.
Ms. Collier.
Before I vote, they say I get too emotional up here. I just want to say that Ms. Owens, Ms. Polk, was a very influential person in my life. I spoke earlier at an award ceremony during Black History Month for myself, where I said I was standing on the backs of giants. Ms. Owens Polk was one of the giants whose backs I am proud to say I stand on, and I would not be councilperson in Ward 1, Garfield Heights, if it had not been for her. And I appreciate her, the Busy Bees, my ward and my community, and I thank her family for coming out. And I was told, hold on before I finish, because I was told by Marvin to make mention to the fact that Jonathan Burrell is an All-American, John Marshall, Ohio Track Star Hall of Fame member, and he is here tonight to accept this award for the Owens Polk family. And he is also a member of the Ohio Track Hall of Fame. With that, I vote yes.
Okay, Ms. Mack.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
That passes 6-0. All right. At this time, Councilwoman Collier, if you'd like to have a family member make,
Would you all be willing to come up and kind of take a picture with City Council on today?
would someone from the family like to
Do you want to say some words,
say
John?
a few words?
Would you like to say a few words for the family? Come on. Denise, how about this? Or Ms. Jones? One of the two.
Well, I will start. I will say, thank you, Garfield Heights, presenting this historical award to my auntie cousin. This is something very important to our family. We really love you guys for this. And as you see, the family members are here to make this to to celebrate this moment. Thank you, Council.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any other family member would like to have a few words? You're welcome at this time.
Appreciate this gesture from Garfield Heights City for our cousin Carolyn. She lived in this city, loved this city, worked in this city, enjoyed this city for many years. Before she left to go to California, and then she came back again. I'm the president of the Black Rail Fort Berry Nichols Family Club, where she was very active, and I just want to say, she would have loved to be here.
Amen.
For this. And thank y'all so much from our family for taking the time out in your busy schedule to celebrate the life of Carolyn Owens Pope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. At this time, Mayor Burke, would you have some words, and if the family would, after he speaks, would like to have a picture of your family here in front of council.
Yeah, I just want to offer my condolences to the family. And also thank you, Ms. Collier, for sharing your story, because I'm a huge fan of Coach Lou Holtz. And Lou Holtz says one thing. He says, do you want to be significant or do you want to be successful? And that story that you just shared proves that Miss Polk is significant because she made a difference in your life. And that is what we need to celebrate. We are remembered by the differences that we make in other people's lives and how significant we become. And again, my condolences go out to the family. And I want to make sure that you guys get a nice copy of this resolution. So I'll have my assistant put that together for you. We have a program that we're working with, so you'll have a nice resolution that you can have on display.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, at this time, you guys.
Come on up.
Come on up.
On that way, we'll stand
Right behind you.
Oh, man. Oh, girl.
Wednesday.
You know that.
I don't know, this tall one needs to go in way in the back. He's blocking everybody.
Hey,
Do you need to stand on a chair, Wendy?
Yeah.
we're gonna move you over next to Ms. Collier.
Somebody told them that Avery can't be seen.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm sorry, can I?
I don't know, can you? Oh.
Thank
How did I get here?
There you go. There you
you. I
go.
know you wanted.
Thank you all.
We're not close enough. Yeah, but I can't see her.
Oh,
Wait,
Can I come in there for a second?
Thank you.
I got several, I hope I got everybody in there.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank y'all. Thank you very much.
It's gonna be just like similar to the one that we gave you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. You all be blessed. Safe travel. You too. Thank you all. Oh, you want some cupcakes? Take a cupcake. Take a cupcake.
I do.
Take a cupcake.
Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do.
She said there's some tongs over there also. Take a cupcake. There you go. And some foil. Look at that. Lottie is always prepared. She's like a.
I was looking for a casada cake again.
All right, we're gonna move right along with written communications to council. At this time, is there any written communications to council? There's no written communications to council. We will move to our committee reports. At this time, do we have any committee reports? All right, we'll move right along with reports for the mayor and or directors.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. I have a brief report for tonight. First, let's kick things off with the building department. They are putting in a lot of effort to implement Citizen Serve, a new software that we will streamline our day-to-day operations and permit tracking. As you know, this is something that we were awarded a grant from the First Suburbs Consortium. And looking ahead to next year, we are considering equipping our inspectors with iPads to help enhance the efficiency during their inspections. Shifting gears to the economic development, mark your calendars for November 19th as we will be hosting a public workshop right here at the Civic Center in room 118 from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. to discuss the zoning code rewrite. I am asking and encouraging residents to attend, review our zoning proposals, and share any suggestions for changes or additions. This Thursday, November 14th, from 5:30 to 7:30, the Cuyahoga County tax team will be on site here at the Civic Center to discuss things like delinquent taxes, special tax programs, and address any property tax inquiries. Additionally, the scam squad will be present to educate on common sense scans and ensure community safety. Now let's talk about community engagement. Yesterday, we hosted a fantastic Veterans Day ceremony with a moving speech by our very own council president, Sergeant First Class Avery Johnson, recounting his experiences serving in the United States Army. Sergeant, I have to tell you, I was very inspired and moved by your speech yesterday. It was an emotional thing for me, and I'm glad to be a fellow veteran with you, and I thank you for your service. It was truly one of the better, probably the best Veterans Day ceremony I think I've ever been a part of, and I appreciate that. Looking ahead, mark your calendars for December 1st for our holiday lighting ceremony. We have some new festive lights we're going to be showing off this year. I see some of the guys putting them out every day, and they're as they keep putting them little by little, I see little by little. So I'm really getting excited to see how that's going to look. In other news, we recently unveiled a beautiful Safety Forces Memorial next to our 911 Memorial at Veterans Plaza. And that was something we saw yesterday. And that honors our fallen heroes in our safety forces. We moved the park monument that was here outside this building and moved it rightfully down to our Veterans Plaza. I think that's the right place for it. I just want to say thank you to Jeff Jerome, our former, and tonight he's here as the chief of staff, but he's our former chief of staff. He's accepted a new role as the city administrator of Olmsted Township, in which he has so brilliantly tagged as Garfield West tonight. And I asked him how it went today. And I wish him the best of luck. And Jeff, I just have to say, like I said before, your family here in Garfield Heights. So you got a key to the door. You can let yourself in anytime. If we're sleeping, don't turn on the light. Don't make too much noise. You know where everything's at. Make yourself at home, but you're always going to be welcome back. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss working with you. But we'll see each other at meetings and stuff. And I'm really excited for you to see how your journey is going to be from here on, because I got my money on you, my man. You're a good horse there that I think you're gonna make some great things happen over there. And finally, as we approach Thanksgiving, well, actually, I want to also talk about the service department. Leaf pickup is underway, so please pile your leaves on the tree lawn. And folks, let's just remember to bring in the trash bins so that they're not out there for 2 or 3 days. We certainly don't want to have any of them damaged, and we also don't want to have to ticket people for that. And as we approach Thanksgiving, I want to wish everyone a safe and joyful holiday. Please remember, now that we've adjusted our clocks back, the darker evenings since we've turned our clocks back, and stay alert for the pedestrians on our streets, because sometimes they're not wearing reflective clothing, things like that, and I'd hate to see anybody get hurt. Let me jump into tonight's legislation. Ordinance number 81, 2024. We're asking for your support. We need to purchase 1 Mack truck and for the service center. Ordinance number 82, 2024 is just complying with the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District and their updated Title III and Title IV code regulations. This is something that we need to do in order to continue to get funding from them. And ordinance number 83, 2024 is an ordinance authorizing the sale of municipally owned property. We go through this a few times a year. And ordinance number 84, 2024 is just to renew and amend an agreement with the Cuyahoga County Juvenile Court in participating with the county community diversion program. We just did resolution number 30, 2024, honoring the life of Carolyn Barnes Owens Polk. And then resolution number 31, 2024 is appointing Jennifer Sopkovich to continue to serve as the director of the Garfield Heights Community Diversion Program. Jen does a great job with the kids, all around professional, shares her experiences with them. And I really think that this is something that she is literally the right person and made to do. So with that, Mr. President, you have my report.
Thank you, Mayor Burke, for your report. At this time, we'll turn it over to our law director, Mr. Milko Cizek, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be real brief. The mayor already went through the ordinances. I just want to say thank you for your service, as well as to you, to the mayor. Obviously, yesterday was Veterans Day, so I want to make sure to say thank you, and to anyone else who has served. Regarding staffing, I do echo what the mayor said about Jeff. He'll be missed. I know that I will certainly miss him. He's been very valuable to the city in the 1 year that I've been here. His institutional knowledge of the city has been a great asset to, in addition to just his knowledge. He's a smart guy anyway. So I will certainly miss working with him. Finally, I do want to say thank you for those. I conducted my investigation. It was short. I found out it was Lottie who got the cupcakes, so thank you, Lottie, and also Dr. Mack for the card. So I appreciate that's a very kind gesture. Thank you all.
Thank you. At this time, we'd like to move over to our Chief of Staff, Mr. Jeff Jerome.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will be brief because that's the only way I'm going to get through it. I just want to thank the mayor specifically, and obviously our council, as well as all of our residents. I've worked in Garfield longer than I've been an attorney. I've been here for almost 15 years, so I'm excited for new opportunity, but leaving is going to be hard. So I just want to take 2 seconds and thank everyone for making it as great as it's been. So, and happy birthday to Milko. Hey, and everyone else celebrating as well. I'm sorry, council. It is. I know they're Mark Smith. I apologize. But no, in all seriousness, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure serving the residents of Garfield, growing up just down the street in Bedford. It's absolutely been a pleasure, and I can't thank you guys any more than I already have, but genuinely, thank you so much for everything. So, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, this time we will move on to our communications on the agenda for tonight. Clerk will read the rules. All right, we have no communications for tonight on tonight's agenda. We're gonna move right into our ordinances and resolutions. And we'll begin with, our first ordinance.
Ordinance number 81-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor or his designee to purchase one 2025 Mack MD7 truck through M&K Truck Centers under the Ohio Revised Code, Section 125.04C, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to consider by title ordinance number 81, 2024.
There's been a motion placed on the floor to consider by title by Councilwoman Thompson. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilman Kelly. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
There's been a motion placed on the floor by Councilwoman Thompson for the suspension of the 3 reading rules. All those in favor say, can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilman Kelly. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to waiver Rule 24.
It's been moved on the floor by waiver of Rule 24 by Councilwoman Thompson. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilman Kelly. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. I will call for roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilwoman Thompson.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes. It passes 6-0. The next ordinance.
Ordinance number 82-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor or his designee to enter into an agreement with OHM Advisors to complete all requirements necessary to comply with the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District's update Title III and Title IV code regulations and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Councilman Smith.
I move to consider by title ordinance number 82-2024.
The motion is considered by title. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Councilman Smith.
I move to suspend the 3 reading rules.
There's been a motion placed on the floor for suspension of 3 reading rules by Councilman Smith. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Councilman Smith.
I move for a waiver of Rule 24.
Councilman Smith has asked for a waiver of Rule 24. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Mack. I'll call for a roll call of the adoption, beginning with Councilman Smith.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Mack.
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
Ordinance number 83-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. An ordinance authorizing the sale and disposal of municipally owned property which has been determined to be no longer needed for municipal purposes pursuant to Section 129.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Garfield Heights.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion to consider by title ordinance 83-2024.
There's been a motion by Councilwoman Mack to consider by title. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Thompson. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rules.
There's been a motion placed on the floor by Councilwoman Mack for suspension of 3 reading rules. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Thompson. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion to waiver of Rule 24.
There's been a motion placed on the floor for the waiver of Rule 24 by Councilwoman Mack. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Townsend. All those in favor say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. I'll call for the roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilwoman Mack.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes,
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Ms. Collier.
Yes.
it passes 6-0.
Ordinance number 84-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew and amend an agreement with Cuyahoga County and Cuyahoga County Juvenile Court to continue participating in the Cuyahoga County Community Diversion Program and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion to consider by title ordinance 84-2024.
There's been a motion placed on the floor to consider by title by Councilwoman Mack. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Smith. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion for suspension of 3 reading rules by Councilwoman Mack. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Smith. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. I'm sorry.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion for waiver of Rule 24.
There's a motion placed on the floor for the waiver of Rule 24 by Councilwoman Mack. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Smith. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. I'll call for the roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilwoman Mack.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes,
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
that passes 6-0.
Resolution number 31-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. A resolution appointing Jennifer Sopkovich to continue to serve as the Director of the Garfield Heights Community Diversion Program from December 31st, 2024 to December 31st, 2026.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kelly.
I'd like to make a motion to consider by title resolution number 31-2024.
There's been a motion placed on the floor by Councilman Kelly to consider by title. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved by Councilwoman Townsend. All those in favor say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kelly.
make a motion, suspension of the 3 reading rule.
It's been so moved by motion for suspension of 3 reading rules by Councilman Kelly. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Townsend. All those in favor say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. I'll call for the roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilman Kelly.
Mr. Kelly,
Before I vote, I just want to say, I love bumping into Jennifer. She's busy running around here all the time. And she, she knows how to get a job done. I've seen her when she was up, and I've seen her when she was ticked off. But she got the job done. But anyway, with that, I think I parrot what Matt said about her and what others have said about her. I think she's perfect for the job. So with that, I say yes.
Thank you, sir.
and Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes,
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
that passes 6-0. We'll move right along with our comments by citizens. I'll have the clerk to read the rules, please.
Comments shall be restricted to any problem a resident has which had previously been submitted to his or her councilperson or to the City Hall Department directly involved. If submission of a problem to the City Hall Department or councilperson is made, and there is a lack of service rendered in this regard, the problem may then be presented during comments by citizens at a future meeting. It is the intention of this rule that no request of a first nature is presented on the floor at this time. Comments shall be limited to 5 minutes. No citizen shall be heard more than once.
At this time, Ms. Liz Middleton, please.
Thank you guys so much. I purchased my home back in 2000. At that time here in Garfield, roofs were falling. And a lot of the things that we're dealing with now. I have an issue with a neighbor who purchased the house directly in front. My neighbors on the left and right, the houses have been sold, by the grace of God, I have good neighbors. Same thing with this neighbor over here, good neighbor. Neighbor over here, good neighbor. The one that is in front of me, what I saw this summer is just, I couldn't take it anymore. I've been dealing with it for years. I first talked to Assistant Law Director Weiler and Judge Weiler. They were my patients over in New York who told me to contact Dr. Mack. I appreciate you getting back to me. We talked several times. If I may, I just want to show you one thing. This is what I have. Mr. Graham that you mentioned to me several times. Their grass moved to here. So we got our grass go across the street, cut the grass. There's a jungle in the backyard. And I mean a jungle. They have a little pit hole that they bought years ago. We rarely see them, they don't walk it. So we used to be like, where does he go to the bathroom? This summer it got so bad, you'll see him in one of the pictures. He no longer goes in the back. In the back of this house, I'm talking taller than me. They have a structure that everything grew over it. And when you go past, you just saw this jungle. The dog comes out, he uses it on the neighbor's yard. Just goes to the front yard, uses it, never on a leash, goes back in the house. The garbage, do you see the garbage? They put out their garbage and they won't even close the bag. They just leave it there. I guarantee you their trash cans are still out, probably be out tomorrow, maybe the day after. And it's daunting because I love my home and I love my neighborhood. But some of the elements in the neighborhood is really disturbing. I don't want to move. I love my home, I want to stay. But when you have to look at this every day, so many of my patients, I've been working at Marymount. I worked at Marymount with Dr. Brody for 20 years. The majority of them are gone. They sold their houses and they left. I won't do that. I don't want to abandon my neighbor. I love them. But I wish we could do better. The ordinances, is the ordinance still in place for no parking on the street at night? When we first moved here, and park on the street, you had to call the police station and let them know your car was on the street. That's it. Now it's just a free-for-all. In the summertime, it doesn't bother me. But in the winter, when they park there and there's a snow ban, and my house is the first driveway from the corner, and the plug truck can't get to it, so we go out and we use the snowblower. I thank God for a snowblower, but it's the minute the truck comes by, he can't clear my yard because they're parked there. There's no tickets, there's nothing. Sometimes I feel like we've been abandoned, like some of the businesses. Clean up. Go run your business. That's all it takes. Send somebody out to pick up paper and the trash off the ground. It would make it so much better. And I even hate to even be here complaining, but I promise I can't take it. I don't even know, because when I talked to you, you told me there wasn't a whole lot that you could do. You know what I mean? Or I could do. I mean, what do you do in a situation like this?
So without putting yourself in harm's way, excuse me, Mr. President, if I may address, without putting yourself in harm's way, has there been any discussions with this particular neighbor?
No.
And because
They
you,
don't seem to be, I mean, they're not, you speak, like I'll speak.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be approachable. You know, like my other neighbors are. I mean, I literally almost this summer, wanted to go over and just cut the bushes. Just do it myself. But there's so much. Did you see the pictures?
Mhm.
The barbecue grill has been sitting there for 2 years in the middle of the garage. You can barely see the garage anymore. I'm so glad that it's winter and the leaves are falling off those bushes.
You got 2 minutes now.
I'm done. I'm just saying. Just imagine if that's what you had to live across. And look at it every day.
Please don't go nowhere. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Mack.
So I've talked to Liz quite a few times. I've been over there 4 times. I even sent a letter there. I left my card there one time. Then I reached out and talked to Mr. Graham, but he was sick at the time. And he said he was on leave. So I had reached out to the service department and I thought somebody had, went over there. And apparently nobody never went over there.
Okay. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Carter.
Mr. Milko, would it be possible that tomorrow we could at least put this house on the nuisance neighbors?
Not a problem at all. But this is the first time I'm hearing all of this.
Yeah.
The first 2 thoughts that came to mind is in respect to the tall grass. Obviously, we actually have a grass cutting program where they go out and cut your yard and they charge you for it. So I'm going to talk to the building commissioner first thing in the morning. I just need to get your actual address and everything when we're done here. Don't say it publicly now. The second part with respect to the tickets, I will have a discussion with Chief K.
Yes.
Our police chief, because they're the ones that go out. How often they go and check certain streets, I couldn't tell you that, but I'll find out from him and I'll ask him to perhaps put some extra attention on that particular street. So that's why I need to get your information as well. Really, the grass comes from the building department, not so much the service department. And then the tickets, that's in charge of the police department. The rules are still in place with respect to the tall grass, with respect to no overnight parking and those things. We just have to essentially enforce them by our building department and our police department.
Thank you.
Thank you again. All right, this time, do we have any miscellaneous business from council? Kelly?
Mr. President, I just
Oh,
want,
I
I wanted to chime
apologize,
in
member.
here. I'll get the address and we'll get it. I'll do a search with the courts too, because a lot of times we go and issue these citations and you gotta understand, when we issue the citation, we did our job. Now it's up to the courts to uphold it, and that could very well be. We do have grass cutting crews. They're still cutting grass right now because the weather's been good. So we got to get somebody out there to cut. And when we cut their grass, we charge them $250 to their taxes. And it stays on that. Every time we cut it, it's $250. So I don't want to see, stuff like this in the neighborhood, but I have to rely on the people to do their jobs. And like I said, like Milko said, we'll get with the building inspectors tomorrow and we'll get with the building commissioner tomorrow.
Mr. President, may
Chair recognizes Councilman Smith.
I just want to commend you on coming down. Unfortunately, we've extended your day and that is not our intent, but you're to be commended for stepping up. It's unfortunate that you had to go this route, but I will assure you it's going to be addressed at this point in time.
At this time, is there any other comments? Any other issues at this time? We'll move to, is there any other miscellaneous business that we have to attend to tonight? All right, at this time, we will recognize, beginning in Ward 1, Councilwoman Pro Tem Collier.
Thank you, sir. I just want to, again, say thank you to the Owens Polk family. I am proud to say that Carolyn Owens Polk lived in Ward 1, Garfield Heights. She actually went down to Florida with her son and demanded that he send her back home. So Garfield is, I always laugh and joke and say that I live in Garfield, I worship in Garfield, and on my last breath and when they bury me, I'm going to be buried in Garfield. Because Calvary Cemetery at the Garfield side and Holy Spirit Church is part of Calvary Cemetery, so I will probably never, ever leave the city. I'm going to say this also. Can we please keep our city safety forces in our prayers? Just remember the weather is about to change. They still have to do their due diligence to keep us safe on 480. And seeing that we're still waiting on the squad that we lost on 480 over a year ago. So let's just keep our safety forces in our prayers as they have to go out there and chase down the 100-mile-an-hour speeders on 480 in the wintertime, and then stand outside and write those tickets. So let's just, or if there's an accident, they are the first responders who have to go to 480 and take care of that. So let's just keep them in our prayers. I want to say thank you to all the vets for their service. I'm laughing right now thinking about my father, rest his soul, when he was sent to Vietnam, and his brother, who was a sergeant in the Army also, he called his brother and said that he needed his brother there with him in Vietnam. I need you, bro. I need you, bro. And just as soon as his brother got there, he told him, I guess you only allow one family member in one action place. So they sent my dad to Korea, to an office job in Korea. So God bless my Uncle James for taking his place so that he could be here to create me. I want to say, I did not make mention to this, but we did have our Halloween trunk or treat in Ward 1. We had like 70 kids in an house. I made a pledge that next year we'll get it back up to the 200. So I'm looking forward to that. Jeff. My friend, my colleague, my buddy, you were better than my priest, the confessor. I appreciate you. I will definitely miss you. I will probably still blow up your phone no matter where you are. I wish you the best of luck. I know great things are coming your way. Thank you. Happy birthday to everybody whose birthdays are here. But they say I'm always emotional. Sorry. I'm not going to cry. Thank you. And that concludes my report.
At this time, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Mack, Ward 2.
I don't really have a lot today, but happy birthday, Councilman Smith, Councilwoman Thompson, Law Director Millville, and Chief of Staff Jeff Jerome on your new job. Wishing you all the best as you step into that role. I don't know exactly what role it's going to be, but when you step into that role, and I'm pretty sure it's an exciting opportunity, and you will be missed. And good luck. And that's all I have.
The chair at this time recognizes Councilman Smith, Ward 3.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, on a more serious note, if you would, just reminding all of our constituents, those of you here, those in our cyberspace world audience, there is indeed a parking ban. is still enforced in places. We probably need to do a little better. I am going to have a chit chat with the chief of police to see why we can't enforce it even more. But you brought up the point back in 03, et cetera, that it was really enforced. And I think it's a good thing to kind of enforce it even more. On a lighter note, again, happy birthday to all of the birthday individuals, inclusive of myself. I've learned in my latter years, it's good to have a birthday.
Yes.
I'm often on the DM with members of clergy, et cetera, and a lot of times people will get up and say A, B, C, D, F, G, and a lot of times I will get up and say protocol has been established, and the reason I say that is I don't want to be a repeater of what has already been said. But on this night, I'm going to repeat the congratulations, if you would, and a continued success to our own individual, the man with two, I always say two last names, but he actually has two first names, but I always say two last names because I just get kicks and giggles out of them. I really appreciated the camaraderie that we've had, and you appear to be a young man that's on the move, and I am never one that will stop anyone from being on the move. So God bless you, young fella, and keep up the good work, and it's been a pleasure working with you. That's it.
Thank you for those comments. At this time, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Townsend, Ward 5.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming, and thank you to those who are watching. I just want to give my heartfelt thanks to our veterans. I appreciate all they've done for our country, and I just appreciate their service and their sacrifices. And I just thank them. And I thank you, President Johnson. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Connie.
Also, Mr. Jerome, I am truly going to miss you. Thank you for making my time on council easy. And thank you for being there for me. And I appreciate you, and I just wish you the best on your next adventure. And I do hope you return one day. I wish you all the best. Happy birthday to Milko, and happy birthday to Mr. Smith. Thank you. Today is my birthday, and I'm so glad to be here, spending it with all of you. Thank you. And I just want to thank, I had so many birthday wishes from everybody. The residents even wished me happy birthday, and I appreciate that so much. I just want to say thank you, and that is all. And I hope you guys have a great evening, and thank you for coming, and just stay warm out there. Stay safe. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Councilman Kelly, Ward 6.
Good evening, everyone. Very first thing I want to say is happy birthday to Councilman Smith and the Councilwoman Townsend, and to Milko, and you know, and everyone who's celebrating a birthday. A happy birthday to you all. Also, thank you to our veterans. First class, Sergeant First Class, and President Johnson.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for reminding us. Thank you for your service, and also reminding us, you know, what it took for us to enjoy the freedoms that we have, and whether we are, I mean, even the right to protest. You know, we thank you.
Thank you.
And all of our veterans, all of you. And I still have a motion in my pocket to block this move of Jeff Jerome. So I just keep an extra motion in my holster whenever I need to use it. But anyway, thank you for everything you've done in the short time that I've known you, and the counsel that you've given me. And you know, we'll keep plowing ahead. But hey, if it doesn't work out, you know, you can always come on back. But we know it's gonna work out. So, but we wish you well. So with that, also, I just wanted to say to my residents, I want to make sure that you see and hear me say it, that I have brought up the issue of plowing, a plowing service for our seniors. I hear you, I've heard you, and we're gonna have that discussion. Also, the dog park is not forgotten. My ear is always warmed up on this dog park, and I understand. In time, I don't want to say too much about that just yet because I want to have another conversation in regards to location, possible location, or whatever. We've talked about it before, but just because it hasn't been mentioned doesn't mean that it's forgotten and done with. It's just everything is not in line yet to deal with that yet. Also, I mean, the election has passed, and the issue didn't pass that we were so we felt so promising about. And I just want you to understand that you know, it's not you that actually has to go out there and deal with the issue when someone is speeding or some accident happens or they're being, you know, a car is flipped over, turned over, with a death or whatever. I mean, every weekend, literally every other day, there is something happening out there on 480. And I know on the weekends. And the traffic that is blocked and backed up all the way 480 to 271. Sometimes because of something that happened in Garfield. And yet we can't pass this ordinance. Now, if it's your family member that's out there writing that ticket and they get hurt, I'm sure you want the city to do something about it at that point. So I don't know why we don't think that way when we actually have a chance and the time to deal with that issue. So then I hope that when this comes back up again, you will consider, we're only talking about 480. We're not talking about the city. If we were talking, and I love to bring this up, you can't rip and run up and down East 71st and Cuyahoga Heights. Why? Because they got cameras there. But we complain about everybody using Turney Road as a drag strip. And when we finished getting our roads repaired, I was just telling one of my neighbors, okay, Shady Oak, we already know what's going to happen. Brand new street. And all these other, on Eastwood, I ran out. I happened to be outside, and I'm running out to the sidewalk. Hey, yelling, and he's F you as he's just driving down the street. I'm like, okay, yeah. And then as soon as you flip the curb and run into a tree, then what? But again, I'm over my time. So I'm just gonna simply say, when this issue comes up again, let's consider if it's your family member who was an officer out there, would you want to see them in harm's way? And with that, I'm done.
Thank Councilman Kelly for his remarks. I would ask that all the residents be mindful of what your council members have said tonight. First of all, let me recognize again all the birthdays this month. Councilman Smith, Councilwoman Tumsing, Mr. Milko, I law director Mr. Milko, thank you again. Happy birthday to every last one of you. I'm going to lead this off by saying about Mr. Jeff Jerome. I met Mr. Jeff Jerome my first year when I came to council some 3.5 years ago, and he was always a professional. Not only was he professional, but it's personal with me and him. We're avid Cleveland Browns fans. It breaks our hearts. Every time we see each other, we holler about them Browns. But on the other side of this is an individual that has impacted every area of our city. He knows the city like the back of his hand. And he has been nothing but an asset to this council as well as to the mayor. I'm for sure he will say that. And in the absence of Councilwoman Jen Rones, I know she has a heartfelt wish him well. And I'm like Councilwoman Collier, I'll probably be ringing your phone just so I can holler at you about them Browns, but as well ask you how's the city going in your next assignment. But we are going to definitely miss you. I wish I could pull Councilman Kelly's vote out of his pocket. We will hold this vote today to keep Mr. Jerome right here with us. He has really impacted us and just one of the kindest individuals I have ever met, especially since me coming here to council. You're definitely going to be missed. With that in mind, let me say thank you for all the comments about veterans. Veterans are very dear to my heart and very dear in the Johnson household. When I married my wife, the first thing she did is said, I want you to meet my father, who is a Vietnam veteran. The most jolliest gentleman I ever met. First thing he wanted to talk about was you need to get your benefits. Because he suffered with a Purple Heart in Vietnam from a war injury that he suffered as he was shot. So this is very serious for me, and I want to thank you again for those that commented on the speech that I gave yesterday at the memorial here at Garfield Heights. I appreciate Mayor Burke. They even asked me for a copy of my speech. So it was I hope that it inspired the people that was present that we need to do more for veterans. And me being a war veteran, I know how critical it really is. My unit lost 2 soldiers. Specialist Todd Bates and Staff Sergeant Aaron Reese in the war in 2003 in Iraq. I had a young lady, once we returned home, I used to tell my soldiers, every time I stood before them, the way that I see you now is the way I want to see you when you go home. And that young lady wrote me on Facebook, you lost none of us. And because of that, today we are mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers, husbands and wives with children, and we have careers. But think about this, that those individuals that lost their lives, some of them were in their teens, some of them were 20s and 30s and 40-year-olds, lost their lives, fighting for the freedoms of this country. And we need to be always grateful that when you travel this country and you go to different places like the grocery stores, to the movie theaters, when you go to church services on Sundays, or you go to a mosque, or where you go to a temple or something, we need to be thankful to someone that is standing around the globe today at arms, guarding the American way of life. Yes, we do have problems. I admit, Ms. Middleton, that I got neighbors that moved in on 102nd Street after 20-some years of being there. They're horrible, some of them. But yet, I do have faith and confidence that we will address the issues that concerns you. And we will do our very best to make sure that that issue is addressed. Again, thank everyone in Ward 4 for your continual support. I want to thank our council clerk, who constantly reminds me of things that I always forget. And tonight, we want to say thank you again for her kindness, for looking out for all of the city council members and making sure everybody's recognized. We want to invite everyone that's please stop by over here, get you some of them cupcakes, because we're not going to take all that stuff home. So we invite you to please stop by and get something to eat. Be mindful of the meetings that we're going to be holding here at the city council with the mayor, especially on the property tax that's coming on November 14th. Don't forget about the workshop on November 19th for our zoning. Invite your friends and neighbors to come out to that as well. And then don't forget about our December the 1st holiday lighting. With that note in mind, all minds are clear. I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President,
Councilman Smith.
just before I make a motion to adjourn, I'd just like to let you know that you're invited to come up to the front here and have some of these delicious cupcakes. Beautiful. I move, Barbie. Okay. See there, now you make me lose my train of thought. What am I doing? Making my brain, I'm not supposed to do the invocation of prayer right now. I move that we, the council meeting for November the 12th, Tuesday, Garfield Heights Council be adjourned at 8:07.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It has been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Thompson. Council, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. It's been so moved. We're adjourned.
Oh.